Hey, good evening. Happy Thursday. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to week 15. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Football. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got the whole gang with me here. I got Nick and Imran with me. Say what's up, guys.
What's up, guys?
Nick, you're still muted, bud. There we go. There you go. Having a little volume problem there too. Check your levels. Check your levels. But yeah, we're off to a fast start here. Week 15. We got Chargers and the Raiders on the books for tonight. Things are looking good. Looks like it's going to be a good offensive matchup. Before we get to the game preview here, how's your guys' weeks going? We're getting ever so closer to Christmas here. How's the season going for you, Imran? We've missed you. We haven't had you on in a little bit here. How's things going?
I think things are getting better, man. Work's been crazy. Actually, today's my last day of work until the 28th, which is good. So a little bit of a vacation coming up. Monday is my birthday. So, hopefully a little bit of good juju this weekend. I am in the playoffs in 3 leagues. Had a couple of big wins last week. One of the guys who's been an unheralded hero for me that I want to shout out real quick, T.Y. Hilton. I picked him up for free off the waivers, and dude has been on a tear.
Mm-hmm.
So things are going good on our end. The Bears finally figured out how to win a game, which is nice. First time in almost 2 months. So, I'm all aboard the train, man. They're in the hunt. They sucked me back in.
They're playing for 500 this week up against the Vikings. How's it going with you, Nick? How's your playoff prospects looking?
Testing. Can you hear me?
We're good. We can hear you.
So yeah, I won my first week. I'm pumped about it. My second week in playoffs, I really don't know. I'm going back and forth on my wide receivers. Devontae Parker got me 0. He's going up against New England this week, and I'm just like, I don't have any hope right now. So
that's tough.
So I put in Laviska Shenault. I really don't know. Maybe he'll catch like one of the weird touchdowns again. But I really. Sure. I'm just hoping that one of my players pop off to be able to overcome DeAndre Washington going against New England's defense, because I've had to put him in with Myles Gaskins out with COVID. And then hopefully one of my receivers pop off, because Darius Slayton ain't getting me nothing. I'm scared about Emmanuel Sanders. I really have no idea what I'm going to get from Laviska, but you know what? A hope and a prayer is always how you win fantasy, right?
Hey, yeah, you're still in it. You're still in it. I watched my teams just rack up a ton of points in the first week of playoffs that I was not participating in. I pretty much led both leagues this past week in points, despite my team not being in. It's a pretty big kick in the dick. It's not the greatest feeling. So that's just how it goes. And then even the players that were on those teams are all hurt this week. Like Marquise Brown went to COVID. Rojo went to COVID. Noah Fant, I think he had some type of food poisoning. It sounds like he's going to be fine, but that dude's never scoring points. It's not week 5 after all. So yeah. So glad to hear things are going well. We're having not necessarily a socially distant episode tonight, but we are shooting separately because we've had some foul weather over here in the DMV over in Maryland. So that was probably the roughest weather I've seen since I've been here since 2017. I'm a Midwesterner. Illinois is where I call home. So that type of snow is not abnormal to see for me. But since I've been here in Maryland, that was a pretty raw deal. It was pretty rough.
It's been some time.
Just another day to someone that has lived in the country. I've lived in Frederick and lived in Carroll County. So, I've driven my 2001 Acura TL through probably 5 inches of snow from Damascus to my house in Carroll County. So the only thing I suffered from today was I couldn't see outside my window because my car is out of windshield wiper fluid, and I was just hope and prayer, So,
you got to get the blue stuff, buddy. Get the good stuff.
Yeah. I got to stop by the store tomorrow. So, it was bad weather, but once you got on the main roads, it was pretty good. But the back roads were really bad because they really didn't salt anything. It was almost like they didn't really have extra people or something. So, I don't know. Just another day in the neighborhood for me.
Yeah, I stayed home. I think did you do the same, Imran?
Yeah, I stayed home today. Yeah, it did not look pretty outside.
Mhm.
But I was talking to one of my clients today, and I was like, Maryland is probably one of the few states in the country where you can have all 4 seasons in a week.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's true.
sure on Saturday it was 65 degrees.
I was wearing shorts last weekend. I was wearing shorts. I went to Wegmans in shorts. That happened.
You did
My
not
wife
do
was
that
like,
today.
what are you doing? Like, why are you dressed the way that you are? I'm like, well, it's nice outside, so that's the way I'm going to be. That's what it was. So, but yeah, Eric and Esther dropping in, showing some love for the Ravens. That was an awesome game the other night. That was an awesome game. I was telling Nick before you showed up, I was like, man, I was up till like 2 in the morning. I just couldn't go to sleep. It was just running
That
on
game
adrenaline.
was awesome, man. Usually I'm a grandpa and I'd pass out right a little bit after halftime, but I could not turn away, man. That game of the year, probably. What do you guys think so far?
I'd say game of the year so far. That rivals the Chiefs Rams game from a couple years back.
Ooh, that one was special. That one was special.
Honestly, I didn't get to finish the game. I went to bed. It's been a long 3 weeks.
I hear you.
So I just went to bed. I was just like, I can't believe I missed it because it was Browns Ravens. I really had no hope, but I did say the over before the game, and it's
you did call it.
So
what was the over? Out of curiosity,
over.
Was it like what 40 something probably? What was it over?
Yeah, it was like 46,
44.
Oh, jeez, like the Ravens almost hit that on their own.
Yeah. It was sweet. It was sweet seeing that.
It's really just the fireworks, though, right? Like the whole McSorley's in. Like, is there any magic left with McSorley? Right? Kind of thinking he's going to just pull off a random one. Yeah, he did. He wound up getting hurt, but that injury, it bought Jackson some time. He was on the ground for a while. And then here comes Jackson from the locker room. It was very WWE-esque. I was loving it. I was waiting for them to cue some music for him when he hit the field.
Yeah, they said when Lamar Jackson went into the locker room, he wasn't sure where to go to get checked out and stuff. But luckily Odell Beckham was back there to point him in the right direction on where to go.
The waddle walk and everything was great. Like all of it was just a ton of fun. So I was loving it. But let's jump into tonight's preview. We got our guy Steve already jumping in the chat. He's saying the Chargers at a lock at +3.
Ooh.
We're seeing what I'm seeing +3.5, -3.5 for the Raiders. What are you seeing there at the betonline.ag there, Imran?
Guys, the book is with Steve. We're at +3. +3 is paying you -104 for the Chargers. If you're rolling with the Raiders tonight, that -3 is paying you -116.
Okay. What are you guys thinking? Where are you guys at? I don't know if the Chargers are necessarily a lock for me tonight. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, going to be in the lineup, but they're going to be on rep counts. I'm not sure how much I'm trusting that offense tonight. What do you guys think?
I don't.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead, Emma.
Now, I was going to say the Chargers, like I put in my preview, I think it's just going to be another heartbreak game. Like 3 scares me because they're just used to losing by a touchdown so commonly. So if I had to pick, I think the over is a sneaky play where I think you could see some points scored here. The Raiders defense isn't that good. And then you can get scored on, same with the Chargers. So if I had to pick the spread, I would go with the Raiders. Just because I think the Chargers they have a knack for just losing by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, the 3.5 is scary. I like 3 a little bit more, but I think we stay away from the spread here. I think the money line is the pick, and just pick your preference here. Pick your poison. The last go around with the Raiders and Chargers, the Raiders won, on a heartbreaking loss for the Chargers on like the last play of the game. So, it could go either way, right? What do you think, Nick?
Yep. They have the the line for total points is 52.5. That's really high considering some of the games that we've seen. And we were just talking about how I hit the over with the Ravens game. That was at 44. With these defenses, the Chargers defense's biggest weakness is the Las Vegas's rushing attack. They got Josh Jacobs. He is playing today. So, I'm going to say the over because these defenses are pretty poor, even though Las Vegas did fire Paul Gunther. But I think that's going to be a little bit of a shot in the arm for the defense because it's going to give them a better, I guess, what wasn't working, they're going to try and fix that now. So I think that the defense is going to do a little better. But I still think it's going to go to the over because these offenses are pretty stacked both.
Yeah, I agree. That's my favorite bet tonight is over the total. I'm seeing it 51.5. You're seeing 52.5. Is that the general consensus?
I'm seeing 52 too.
Yeah,
You're seeing 52 as well. So they've moved it up then. They've moved it up because we've had this number at 51.5 all day. So that means that the bets are moving the lines, right? People are affecting the total here.
Yep.
I think we trend that direction, right?
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just going to take the over here. Steve's in the chat. He's saying the Raiders are frauds. They have, I believe, the highest scoring offense for themselves for the Raiders since I think like 2006. So the offense is there. To me, they just can't play defense. And versus the Chargers, they've had games where they've been able to make that, one or two extra plays on defense where the Chargers haven't. So if I have to pick a winner, gun to my head, I'm gonna go the Raiders here. They're also closer to the hunt for the playoffs, far ahead of the Chargers. So yeah, I'm gonna lean Raiders on the money line, and I'm gonna take the over here.
Raiders are such a confusing team, aren't they? Like they're the only team to beat the Chiefs this year.
For sure.
Yeah, only team to beat the Chiefs this year. They almost beat them a second time, but they also almost lost to the Jets. Like, what the hell are they? It's like two extremes.
Yeah. I don't know. The Jets game was weird. Like if you watched it in some detail, I was needing Derek Carr points, so I was very high, I was monitoring the situation. It wasn't great, but he wound up doing well that day, especially that last touchdown that put him ahead, right? But when you watch the game, they just had drive killers, and Derek Carr, he does have those opportunities to end a drive, right, where he just forces one into too tight a window, puts a ball on the ground at times. It's just that for most of this season, he hasn't been that Derek Carr like he has in years past. So I just lend a little bit more trust to them. They're going to be playing at home too. I lend a little bit more upside to them and that factor. And the Chargers, they also are another team that just get in their own way, or they just let Anthony Lynn get in the way. So I don't trust them. I don't trust the Chargers. Believe in Gruden. And that's just calling for the Gruden hat. He's calling for it.
I don't know about the Raiders. What I was gonna say is, but if they could capitalize on special teams, because that's what the Chargers have really been lacking. They've had like block punts, or they've let people return, and their offense is high powered, but there's only so much power that an offense can give in the NFL, especially these NFL defenses. But this is a weaker defense, and they just lost their defensive coordinator. So I mean, it's a toss up to me, to be completely honest. It really is whatever defense is going to make the last stop. I did want to go over some trends. So the total has gone over in 10 of Las Vegas's last 14 games. Total has gone over in 5 of Las Vegas's last 6 games at home. And total has gone over in 7 of Las Vegas's last 10 games this season.
The numbers are with us.
Yeah, 52.5. I mean, they're really high. I was looking at the other side to see if there's any, total gone over. Total has gone over in 7 of LA Chargers' last 10 games, and total has gone over in 4 of LA Chargers' last 6 games against an AFC West opponent. So, I mean, I think it's really going to trend to the over. And
Let's go.
I think I'm going to say that the Raiders are going to pull it off just because their defense is going to make that one last time.
Yeah, and I think the minute injuries to Eckler, Allen, I feel like everyone thought he was going to be in the lineup no matter what, that he was going to be on a rep count. I think it's more of a surprise that Mike Williams is going to be in the lineup, who I think many thought he was just going to be sitting out of this game.
Right.
But Eckler was also limited in practice this week as well, so he's going to be a little bit banged up. We could be seeing a couple extra Kalen Ballage touches tonight. I guess let's just jump over to the props and kind of see what the books are thinking for some of these guys' production. Do you have those up, Imran?
I do. So let's start off with the quarterbacks.
Yep.
So for the quarterbacks, we'll start off with the over-under for passing yards. For Derek Carr, we're coming in at the number being 265. Paying the same, paying you minus 14 either way. What do you guys think? 265.
I'm taking the over. I have Derek Carr over 269.5 in my monkey knife fight lineup. So I'm taking the over.
I'm going to take the over too. The last 2 games against the Colts, which is a better defense, and the Jets, they've thrown for 368 and 345. The games before that, they really have struggled passing the ball, but I think they're going to hit their stride again in the passing game, because the Chargers' defensive backs aren't exactly the top, and Derek Carr does like taking deep shots with Nelson Aguilar. If they can hook up a few times, I think that number can definitely rise really quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you all. I think I'm going to go with the over too. Maybe they remember that they drafted some guy named Henry Ruggs in the first round, and we see him on primetime. That'd be kind of cool.
Actually, he's out. He has COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. No wonder. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
it'll still be
took, I
nice to
took
see him
Nelson
one day.
Aguilar prop too, but go ahead. I think the Chargers too. They don't play great up against the run, but they can stop a rush or two. You know, like I want to say they're like 12th, top 12 with yards against, but they don't necessarily let up a lot of rushing touchdowns. I think they've only allowed like 7, and the leader, the Raiders, they're tied for like 16th. You know, so you can run on the Raiders. You can't run so much as well on the Chargers. I think there's a little bit more upside for passing the ball for Derek Carr tonight.
I think so. And so we're going over to our guy, Justin Herbert. We're at 280.5. It's playing plus minus 14 either way you go. What are you gentlemen feeling? Are we thinking over 280.5? You think it's 281 or higher, guys?
I took him under 283.5 in my Monkey Knife fight. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm going to give you some stats. So against the Falcons, 345. New England 258, even though they got shut out. So I think that's very impressive. Against the Bills, 367, and Jacksonville Jaguars, the Broncos, and the Raiders. He had thrown for 400 yards against them. So I'm going to say the over against them. And then the Raiders are 26th in the league against passing yards. So they're letting up the 5th most passing yards in the league.
I mean, after Nick says all that, how can I go under? I'm going over too. The trends are telling you what's going to happen.
I feel like it's a trap spot with these two receivers, though. Like, if he feeds Eckler a ton in the passing game, I feel like he could still hit that number. But with the 3 best offensive weapons he has, kind of just trudging into this matchup, I don't feel good about it. And again, when I look at the Chargers, their body of work across the year, I just feel like it's kind of a trap number for me. So the trends are all there for him to hit the over. Like, I'm a Herbert owner. Big fan. Matchups right. If I was in the fantasy playoffs, I'd be banging the over drum.
Yeah, I got him. Yeah.
So an interesting one now when we go to the passing touchdown props. Both are set at 1.5 for both the guys.
I think both can hit 2. I think both can still hit 2.
I think so too. It's one of those where it feels like it's too good to be true, right? That's what it comes to gambling. If it looks like it's too good to be true, it is. So
Always.
I'm going to go Oppo a little bit. I'm going to say Derek Carr under.
Derek Carr under, because I think that Josh Jacobs or whoever's the backup running back or maybe the fullback will get a touchdown. So that's 2 or 3 right there. But yeah, I think he does at least get 1. But I think they're going to feature the passing attack against this Raider defense.
I agree, Nick. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I see a bunch of Raiders drives getting down to inside the 5-yard line where they just turn around and give it to Jacobs, where I think with the Chargers, they'd still pass when they get down there. So I think Herbert, I'll go over, and Carr under.
I like that. I don't hate it, but I'm going to kiss it. I'll take both over.
Gotcha.
Shootout. It's okay.
Yep. And
we like the over, right? We like the over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So check this one out for completions. This is one of our bigger discrepancies. So for Derek Carr, we'll do him first. His completions is set at 23.5. And if you go over, we're at minus 143. Under is plus 110.
Interesting. So
I'll give you the last 3 games.
They're just giving us the path here. Go ahead, Nick.
31 out of 45, 28 out of 47, 22 out of 34, 23 out of 31, and then the previous 3 games he was only didn't complete more than 16 pass completion. So I'm going to take the pass. I'm going to take the over. Yeah. I think they're going to really feature him because Nelson Aguilar has come on strong after those games of 13, 15, 16. So I think that's going to feature. Also, Darren Waller, he got like 13 and 200 a couple games ago. So that's absolutely possible.
I'm with it. I'm going to take the over. I have the over on his yards. Why wouldn't I take the over on his completions? I'm with it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the under. Something just screams at me that
like the value.
I could be very wrong. It's
wrong. It's that little plus next to that number.
that's probably what it is. So speaking with that, let's go to Justin Herbert. This is the intriguing one. So his is set at 26.5, right?
What number?
If you go over,
you kind of broke out a little.
Oh, sorry, 26.5.
Okay.
Plus 100 on over. Minus 130 on under there. So the book is telling you they're leaning towards the under.
We're talking about Herbert here?
Justin Herbert, yeah. 26. They're saying he's not getting 27.
Let me give you some stats. So against Atlanta, 36 for 44. New England is 26 for 53. Buffalo, 31 for 52. Jets, 37 for 49. Miami, 20 for 32. Like, I'm going to say, even in the game before that against the Raiders, 28 for 42. I'm going to say
so he hit the number against the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah. So take it. I'll take it. He's already done it, and I still think that they're going to have to throw a lot tonight. I just don't know where the production is going to come from for the Chargers, with the potential of Keenan Allen getting pulled from the game early, Mike Williams, or maybe only playing a handful of snaps. We have really no idea. I like Jalen Guyton. I like the idea of KJ Hill and Tyron Johnson, but does it really translate to elite production for these guys tonight? I don't know.
Couple deep shots.
For Guyton, sure, I like it, but when we see Jalen Guyton and even Tyron Johnson getting those deep shots, typically Keenan Allen's still opposite of them on the other side of the field. If those guys are getting honed in on and they don't have another big guy to have to shut down for the Chargers, if Hunter Henry's the dude, I'll be all over some Hunter Henry props. We'll get to him soon, but I still feel like there's potential trouble in the water tonight for the Chargers.
All right. So we'll move over to the running backs. Oh, not the running backs, but rushing props. So we'll go through these. Derek Carr, over 10.5.
Sure.
Over's paying.
Give me the over. Okay. Yeah, give me the over.
Yeah, I could see him getting a big scramble. Devontae Booker, 22.5.
No, but I will take his receiving prop when we get to it.
Okay. Jalen Richard, 8.5.
Ooh.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't hear what you said for Booker. My mistake.
I'm gonna say
Booker was 22.5. Yeah, he's 22.5. Okay, you got over. Richard, 8.5. Rushing.
Over.
Justin, what were you?
Down. Under.
Okay. Yeah. Josh Jacobs, 68.5.
Over.
I'll take the over. I have him over 68.5 in Monkey Knife Fight.
Yeah, I think he's going to get featured a little bit. I'm going to go over as well.
I will say the last 3 games he hasn't gotten over 55. So
that's true.
But the last time he played, he got 65 against the Chargers last time. So I think it's possible.
I'm gonna roll with it. I think Jacobs is a little irked from last week. Imran, I don't know if you saw from our last show, but we were talking about Josh Jacobs kind of going after the fantasy community, posting on Twitter and on Instagram about how he's going to. What's that?
He got somebody in our league. One of my guys, Sergio. So he was banging the drum on Josh Jacobs all year. And so Josh Jacobs drops that, right? Because he dropped it 2 hours before the game, right? And so he ended up not starting him. So this is our 2 quarterback, 2 flex league. So he didn't start Josh Jacobs. Yeah, and then he
said he wasn't going to be playing.
Yeah, so he didn't want to risk it. But honestly, the Raiders are in the playoffs. He's playing. So he benched him and started Deebo Samuel instead.
Oh, my God.
And Jacobs didn't have a great game. Jacobs only got 11 in PPR, but Deebo got
a 0.
And you guys want to know the stats? He lost by 1.5 points.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
And that was with getting -6 from the Ravens defense.
You said that was your guy, Sergio?
Sergio. Yep.
Sorry, Sergio. Man, heart goes out to you. Had some tough losses this year, but that's a real kick. That rivals.
That was his guy all year too, and poor Josh Jacobs. That was his guy all year, but
that's tough, man. That's tough.
Yep. So we got our guy Austin Eckler up at 59.5.
I have him. What do I have him under? I think I have him under his prop. Where's he at here?
57.5. Last game he got 79. Game before that it was New England. It was 36, but they passed 52 times. Yeah. He didn't play the last time against the Raiders. I'm gonna say over.
Yeah, I guess I didn't take him in Monkey Knife Fight, so I'm not feeling the pressure. I'll take the over. It's kind of a low number. Shout out Driscoll up in the chat. Welcome, sir. Before we get on to another one really quickly, if you guys are in the chat, smash the like button, destroy it if you will, and please subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Continue.
Please do. Thank you. So for our next, Justin Herbert is our last one. 11.5 for rushing.
Take it.
I'm gonna take the under. He sits in the pocket, man. 52 times. You don't do that. You don't do that running the
No,
ball.
I agree with you, Nick, and I'm going to take the under, and I know what's going to happen.
He's going to take
the second play of the game. He's going to scramble out and get 12 yards.
Second, I'm with you right there. The second or third play for like a first down to extend the very first drive, it'll be something dumb like that.
Their first drive, I'm going to be watching it, and he's going to. I swear, but I go under.
You guys, let's see the stats for that because that's a very interesting person to look at. Because let me pull them up. Justin Herbert, past couple games for rushing. Oh man,
it's always game flow based. It's always game flow based.
So against Atlanta, 0. Against New England, 0. Against Buffalo, -2. Against New York Jets, 11. Against Miami, 10. Against the Raiders, he got 24. I'm going to say the under.
So tonight for sure. It's been too long. He's hitting it.
No, I'm going to say under still.
All right.
I'm going to go over. He's getting that damn 12-yard run. I'm telling you.
That's going to be the under. That's going to be the under.
I know. Well, that's good for you guys then. All right, guys. For the props, we'll wrap up with receptions. Well, guys, start off with Brian Edwards. Man, this guy got so much hype coming into the season.
Oh my God!
Massive,
he has a number.
Massive. He's got a number, and that.
I guess Ruggs is out. Ruggs is out, so he's probably going to get out.
No, Hunter Renfrow season.
Yeah. What's the number?
We'll get to him in 1.5. Is he going to get 2 catches?
No,
I say no.
He hasn't recorded that.
He gets the 1. No, hasn't he recorded like random catch here and there?
Oh, there he is. Sorry,
it's been a while.
8 receptions on 12 targets. He's played in 9 games.
You know how many people were banging that drum, though, to start the year? I mean, I was one of them. We liked it, everything we saw and heard from practice. But, I mean, I didn't draft him anywhere. I was just kind of waiting for him to go off, waiting for I could scoop him up somewhere. Never happened.
I'm glad I didn't write an article on him. Like, it's so embarrassing.
All right, next we go with our guy, Mr. Darren Waller, the baller, 6.5. I am
over.
Especially with no Ruggs, I think he's getting fed.
100. Yep. He's going to get 100 tonight.
Let's go.
All right, next guy, Hunter Renfrow, 4.5.
Oh, over. Easy 5.
Over.
I agree. Now it's your guy, Josh Jacobs, with 2.5 receptions.
Nope.
No, 2.
No. They'll feed Devontae Booker some passes back there. The Chargers have allowed, I think, the sixth most amount of passes to the running back position. So expect some Devin Booker catches tonight. Like I said earlier, I'll take whatever his reception props are.
Did you say Devin Booker?
Devontae
Booker.
Oh, Devontae Booker. Sorry, I thought I heard Devin. I was like, oh,
it
could have happened. It could have happened. I don't know. We'll check the tape. These days are running together.
All right, let's go. Nelson Aguilar's at 4.5.
I think he's gonna get 3.
I got him over 60 receiving yards, so I'm gonna take the over.
He's definitely possible, but he can get that in like 2 receptions.
Sure. Again, the Ruggs being out tonight, another target. They've got Brian Edwards props up. I'm taking the over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now we're gonna go to Austin Eckler and the Chargers side of things. Austin Eckler's at 6.5.
I want to take the over so bad. I want to take it. I feel like that's something that we should just kiss and just be like, "Yep, it's just gonna happen." He'll get 8, no problem. Just give me the over. Just trying to keep it simple.
Over's playing plus money, by the way. If I mean, he's at India.
Oh man, he's alternated past couple games. So 9 receptions, 4 receptions, 11, 1, 11, 4.
I'm taking the tonight.
I'll take the over.
I'm gonna take the over too, because you guys were talking about the receivers, being on like a snap count or something. I think that they're definitely going to feature Eckler in their offense tonight, assuming he stays healthy.
All right. We got Driscoll in the chat. He's got his props up. Shout out to Driscoll for sharing those.
Wow.
We got Hunter Henry touchdown, plus Aguilar touchdown, plus Renfrow over 50 or over 49.5. Has to hit the 50 yards. Herbert 9 rushing yards. He's with it, guys. Driscoll's with the rushing attempt for Herbert. He's going to get it. Plus 28.42 for the parlay. Now,
where do you get that at?
Now
so not to get on that tangent, but Driscoll, best of luck to you on that. I hope you hit it. But that's one thing. The last time it was at the book of almost been a month. So shout out to me for not going for the last month. Yeah, I'm going to go tomorrow. But just let me know if you want to ride.
It's Christmas, brother.
Yeah, but the one thing it's been amazing to me is like I saw my brother this too is the player props. They pay the same out as your your over unders and your spreads, and they just seem more attainable, right? It's just you're just dependent on that one player, and it's you see some bad stuff here and there, but those they play great odds. So best of luck to you, Driss.
FanDuel's on the way. We're in Maryland. We'll give it like probably another 6 months, and we'll have some FanDuel. We'll be hitting up those numbers. We'll be moving along.
Boy, cannot wait.
We'll get it here. But yeah, best of luck, Jake. Let us know how much you put on that plus 28.42. $5 holler. That's perfectly acceptable. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, guys.
If it's a penny stock, though, I mean, don't share if it's less than $1.
All right, guys. Last three. Hunter Henry 4.5.
Take it. I'm taking it
Over.
I think over. I think somebody's got to catch a ball for these. Someone take over too.
Yeah.
Jalen Guyton 2.5.
Give it to me.
I take over too. Keaton Allen 5.5. I got to go under.
I got to go under, right? Like everything we're hearing, I got to go under.
Over.
All right. I don't think actually we did the receiving yards, so let's. If you guys want, we can bust through those real quick.
Did they not have a Devontae Booker prop for receptions?
No.
Not fair. Not fair. I just gave the stats. 6 most catches allowed to the running back position. Sportsbook.
Yeah,
not cool.
They don't actually.
Not fair.
Yeah, they don't actually have him for a receiving yard prop either. Yeah.
It's terrible. I hate it.
Sorry.
Anywhere else you guys can get Devontae Booker odds, grab them. Obviously, the sports books are afraid.
They know something. So real quick, just going to the yards. We'll just do a little rapid fire. Brian Edwards, 15.5.
Under. Sorry, Brian Edwards. Oh, $25 payout. Pay $700. Or what's this? Maybe it's a different
under?
one.
Huh?
You got under on Brian Edwards, 15.5.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Darren Waller, 65.5. I'll do over.
He's gonna get 1,000. Over.
Darren Waller, what? How much?
65.5.
Yeah, give me the over there. Herbert was saying there's been some line movement on the Herbert prop. It was at 9.5 where he got it. It's been moved to 11.5. He was a little sharper on us on this rushing prop than the rest of us. So I like it. I like where your eyes are at. Says $25 pays out $700. Not bad.
Hey,
I like
best of luck, man. Best of luck.
Take it to the Hizzy. Everybody else, if you haven't, smash the like button, destroy it, and subscribe to the channel, please. And thank you.
Tell your friends to subscribe too.
That's true. If there's probably 1 or 2 sitting next to you, just steal their phones and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
I've done it at parties. I swear, I've done it.
He has. I've seen
it. I called out Doodles from across the room. Make sure he didn't have one. Yeah, seriously, that's exactly what I was. I was like, Doodles, are you subscribed? He's like, I don't know. I was like, you should check. You should check. He is. He's good. He's good.
All right. What do we got? What's the next prop? Or are we out?
You just go through a last couple on the Charger side before we wrap up. Eckler, 50.5.
Over.
I'll take the over. I think he does more in the air than he does on the ground.
Okay. Guyton, 29.5.
Over.
Same. Keenan Allen, 62.5. I got to go under, but that's tricky.
Under. I think he's gonna get like 49.
Last two actually I wanted to do. I think these are worth talking about. Hunter Renfro's at 48.5.
Over.
I think so. I think he's gonna get a lot of catches. Nelson Aguilar, 58.5.
Over.
Yep. Cool.
Over. All right, so I'll go through my monkey knife fight really quick. I got them rolling here on the bottom of the screen. Let's see. Nelson Aguilar over the 60.5, as I just referenced. I do have Herbert under the passing total of 283. Let's kick it back around here. Let's move bottom line. Let's go. Derek Carr over the 269.5. There it is. Darren Waller over his, I believe, 6.5 catches. And I think that's the last one. Hit 5 props, $5, make 100. It's pretty solid, right? This is not too bad. Gotta like those odds. Best of luck to everybody else out there that has props or DFS rolling tonight. Let's jump over to the Saturday game previews. We got some Saturday football in Week 15. I believe it's the first one up is the Broncos and the Bills, right? The Bills are traveling to Denver.
It's a mile high.
Yep. What's the numbers looking like there, Imran?
Give me just a second.
Yep.
Hit up my guy, the Lions. So obviously, even though it's on the road, your Bills are going to be the favorites. So we're starting off. Bills are going to be, 6-point favorite.
I got a trend for you.
What you got?
Buffalo is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games. Give me against the spread. Tell them I'm saying that they're going to cover against them.
I think they're going to be passing a lot. What'd you say it was 6.5 or 6?
6 flat.
I don't really hate that. I feel like they can win by a touchdown. I feel like they can win by 7.
Yeah.
I don't hate it either. Over under set at 49 in this game.
That's a tricky one. Just because, you're looking at like Philip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon. They're both questionable for that game. I feel like neither of them are going to be 100%. And I feel like Drew Lock, who's actually, he's really hot and cold all year long. He could have another big game.
Yeah, I agree. They had a huge game last week, 2 bombs to Hamler. I think I agree. I'm going. The Bills are going to win by a touchdown. 6, I think, is good. If it got to 7, I would lean the other way, but I think they can clear a touchdown. Props. I don't know, man. There's been a lot of Bills games recently where I've been burned on the over. Where 49, I think, is slightly too high for me. I take the under.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like the Broncos are going to play some offense this week. I feel like they can help drive that number. What do you think, Nick?
So what I'm looking at the trends is that the total has gone over in 9 of Buffalo's last 13 games. Buffalo's gone over in 5 of Buffalo's last 6 games on the road. And they're also 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games against Denver. That's another crazy trend. And then total has gone over in 8 of Denver's last 12 games against Buffalo. I'm gonna say the over because the Bills defense isn't. I don't consider them elite. No offense to Bills Mafia, I don't consider them in the top echelon of defenses. And they do have games where they let some stats up. And I think Drew Lock just is playing backyard football and just having fun. And he likes to swing the ball around. Yeah, absolutely. But he's swinging the ball around, and it doesn't really matter. Like KJ Hamler is starting to pop off. Tim Patrick's been popping off all season. Jerry Jeudy, he's got to fix a few things, but I think his sophomore season could be a good one to build upon if there is an off season in OTAs. But if no Fant's healthy, if Albert O's healthy, I think that Drew Lock's going to give up some, have some stats against the Buffalo defense.
I hope so. I'm actually starting him in fantasy. He's my second quarterback in 2 quarterback leagues because Stafford's out.
Right on. Well, is Stafford necessarily out yet? I mean, we'll get to that later. It sounds like he's pretty doubtful, but it could be a game time call.
It's one of those, even if he plays what I want to play him.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. Where he's standing right now in the week, I absolutely agree. Even if the Bills take off in this game and they create a huge gap in the margin, we could just see that the Broncos, hit the total on just playing some garbage time football. I could absolutely see that happening. I feel like I want to start everybody for the Bills. It looks like John Brown is not going to be back this week, so that really elevates Cole Beasley back into that really safe place to start. And I think you have to absolutely start Gabriel Davis as well. I don't think anyone's shy about starting Josh Allen this week, despite the matchups. It's not like a home run matchup. Like the Broncos defense has been, kind of respectable in previous weeks. Like they really balled out up against the Chiefs. Like they held them to 1 touchdown the entire game.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen up against the Bills at home, but it is a home game. It is at Mile High. There is some leverage there, right? So I just don't see them playing good enough defense to drive the number down. I actually like Josh Allen in a game where the total's at under 50 points. So I'll take the over.
Yeah, but we're talking about being in Denver. With them being at a high elevation, in physics, the ball actually travels faster and farther because the air's thinner up there. So Josh Allen's from Wyoming, which is actually almost a mile higher than Denver. So
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I saw a stat on Twitter. I was
It's
like,
in his
what? I
blood.
didn't know Wyoming was that high. So, and Josh Allen isn't Sam Darnold, who played at USC his entire life, So
Right.
he's going to be coming in being used to this weather, and I think he's going to chuck the ball. And, even with John Brown out, I'm really high on Gabe Davis. I'm really high on Cole Beasley. Always high on Stefan Diggs. Shout out Terps.
Yeah.
But, it's all about how Drew Lock plays, because Drew Lock can throw like 3 interceptions and keep him completely out of the game, or he can throw 4 touchdowns and at least get 28 points. But I think Josh Allen's Bills can definitely get 35 or above.
And
I agree.
the one thing I wanted to add on, the one thing that worries me for that Denver defense
Keep going.
is Stephon Diggs, because they don't have AJ Bouye. He was suspended for 6 games for PED, so that does worry me.
That sucks.
Yeah, because he's still a good corner, but honestly, Stephon Diggs, man, like I don't think anybody saw this coming, because he's absolutely destroying the NFL right now. He's been so consistent every week. Like I have him in a league, so I looked at his game log before last week. I think his worst game of the year was like 4 catches. So he's one of those. The way his game is, it's not like a boom or bust. Like he's got a very low floor. I'm sorry, I should say high floor, where he's consistent week in and week out, and I think he's going to have another big game this week.
Oh, Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I agree. He's a special player, week in and week out. Loving him.
Yep. All righty. You guys want to move over to the night game?
Yeah, absolutely. It was Packers and who?
Packers and Panthers. And
Panthers.
I'm just going to get out of the way. Yes, I'm taking Green Bay. It's 8.5 is the line.
Interesting. They're getting DJ Moore back, but Curtis Samuel was limited with a hamstring issue this week.
Of course.
What's that?
No CMC.
Yeah, and CMC looks doubtful as well. But the running situation hasn't been terrible. Like it's not elite with with CMC there, but it hasn't been terrible. And you can obviously still run up against the Packers this week. I'm not going to be shy about putting Mike Davis new in the lineup. That's for certain. But it's just not going to be in the cards this week for the Panthers. Like they haven't been able to build any type of consistency. The offense is hot. It's cold. Really, same thing for the defense. Like some weeks it shows up. Most weeks it hasn't, unfortunately. We've seen some good performances, but I'll take the 8.5. Like the Packers are just a much, much better team. I think they can clear that number. I think they can win this one by 10.
Ooh, Carolina is actually 5-0 against the spread on the road. Even though they have a lot of injuries and a lot of problems with COVID. I've seen them as a tough team. And especially being 5-0 against the spread on the road, they are a scrappy team. They don't really. It's basically next man up mentality there, because basically Matt Rule seems to have made it like, what, whoever wants the job can take it. Just play football. So I'm gonna say that the number's actually too high, and I'm gonna say that Carolina actually covers the spread, keeps it close. I think that Aaron Rodgers definitely wins, but I think Carolina covers.
I'm with you, Nick. I think it's last week all over again. They were beating the Lions by 2 touchdowns, and then Chase Daniels got that bullshit touchdown at the very end to cover the 7.5. So I think the Packers are going to be in control of this game, but I just see a similar scenario where it's a late score that they cover. Justin, you were saying something. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
What's the weather like in Green Bay this weekend? Just curious if they're dealing, because I was talking to Blake and Steve yesterday on the basketball show. They were saying they were dealing kind of with the same weather we were in the Midwest. So what's the weather like up in Lambeau?
There's nothing on the Odd Shark, so I'm looking at it for this weekend. Saturday, 34 degrees. There's really no wind. Yeah, it's just cold.
Okay, all right. There. So it's nothing crazy then. Just curious.
Nothing there.
Just curious.
Yep. Nothing at Lambeau.
What's the total on that game?
51.5.
Ooh, I don't know. 51.5.
This comes down to how much do you think? Do you think the Panthers can get to 20?
I see. That's the thing. I don't know if they can. I don't feel that confident that they will.
Mike Davis can get 2 touchdowns.
What's that, Nick?
Mike Davis can get 2 touchdowns.
Sure, but I honestly don't know if Teddy passes for 1 in this game. Does he?
I mean, he can. I don't think he's going to pass for 1, but I think the way that the offense has been working with Curtis Samuel being on those jet sweeps, I can absolutely see Mike Davis scoring 2 touchdowns, maybe 1 receiving touchdown from Teddy. But I also see Curtis Samuel scoring a touchdown. That's absolutely possible. Rushing And then if Teddy actually opens up his arm a little bit, there'll be one more touchdown. So I'd absolutely see that happening. But I see Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers offense just really carrying the load. Like the Packers can generate some pressure, but I think that having Mike Davis will really help the Carolina keep it close. And Teddy will just be able to game manage. He's not a superstar, but he's a very good game manager. He's like the new age Alex Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
I feel you. I feel you. I just also see him potentially, turning the ball over for I see the Packers defense potentially scoring a touchdown in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you, Justin, and maybe because it's recency bias, because I'm still scarred from what they did to our Bears a couple weeks ago. But they're a team that plays much better at home than they do on the road, and that defense.
And that Detroit game was on the road, to be noted.
It was on the, and that's a rivalry game, right? Those are two teams that know each other well. And around that time of the Bears game, that's when their defensive front with Preston Smith, Zadarian Smith, and Rashawn Gary started to finally come around, and they already had Jair Alexander, which pains me to say this, might be the best corner in the game. He's damn good.
Oh, he's good. He's real good.
It sucks. They got a former Terp, Darnell Savage at safety. So their defense has other pieces. I just think their defense, I'm with you, like they may score a touchdown. I think their defense is going to make the plays. I think this is I'm going to go under here because I don't think the Panthers get to 20. I think Green Bay can get to 30, 35. I don't know what the Panthers can get to. So I think the running game will be there, but I think if Teddy goes back to pass a lot, there's going to be a couple picks.
I'm thinking like 30 to 17 Packers.
So you think you're flirting with it? Yeah, you're flirting with it. 51.5.
Well, that's what under the reference that like you were asking me. Will they score 20 points? The Panthers. They're not going to score the 20. Do the Packers get to 30 plus or more? Yeah, they can. So it's really just like I think the Panthers can hold them to 30 on the road.
Okay. Ooh, okay. So it's kind of this next game is perfect segue because we were just talking about this briefly. Next one is the Lions at the Tennessee Titans. We have the Lions at this game. The Titans are minus 11, so double digit favorites in home. Over under set at 51.5. And like we were hinting at, Matthew Stafford's status is up in the air, leaning towards him not playing. Even if he doesn't play, he's going to be pretty banged up. Kenny Galladay's probably going to be out again for that team. What are you gentlemen thinking?
Titans cover. Like if as long as Stafford's out, they cover whatever it is, like 11 points. Isn't that what it's at?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, that game's pretty simple. I'm going to take the Titans all day. I'm going to be pretty much benching all of my Lions, other than maybe Hawkinson. Like, don't want the receivers, don't want any of the running backs. It's going to be a rough day. Oh man, start DeAndre Swift. What am I saying? Start DeAndre Swift.
Yep. What do you think, Nick?
I mean, one thing that really stuck out to me is the spread is 11 on OddsShark, and 70% of the money is on Tennessee. On the spread, like with that number, it's kind of interesting. It's just like I completely understand with Matthew Stafford being out, that number being that high, but with 70% of the money, I feel like that Vegas is gonna pull a fast one. Like I don't know. I'm just being kind of
Stafford. You're saying on the spread, right?
On the spread, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Stafford plays, that could flip. This is Thursday, right? Yeah. So we got a couple of days. So yeah, I mean, that could flip if Stafford does play. If we get more clarity on his situation, if he's just magically healthier, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something I saw.
So that's a good point to mention, Nick, because this was pretty much the same thing last week, right? When the Saints went into Philly, everybody was all over the Saints, right, crushing the Eagles, and
thank God I didn't go to the sports book because I would have lost so much money on the Saints.
Yeah,
I would have lost my paycheck on the Saints. My God,
I think this game is going to be really simple from the Titans. They're going to beat the shit out of the Lions with Derrick Henry, set up play action. I think this game's going to get out of hand early. The Lions' key to this game in terms of like fantasy starters is they're going to have to rely on DeAndre Swift in every way which they can. Yep. Hawkinson, I think, is going to be reliable because if it is Chase Daniel, he's going to, he plays smart, right? He's a really poor. He's he's the project's, Alex Smith. He's a poor man's Alex Smith. He's going to play it safe, but I think that's going to be the problem. He's just going to play it safe, and Tennessee can score, and I don't think the Lions can do that with Chase Daniel.
Yeah, everyone's starting Derrick Henry this week. We were referencing the other day that Derrick Henry needs to average, was at 156 rushing yards per game to get to 2,000. This is going to be one of the weeks that he does it. I'm going to take all of Derrick Henry's rushing props this week. So yeah, absolutely. You're starting up Tannehill, AJ Brown. We're going to jump over to like the injury report here in a second. I just saw was that Aguilar grab a catch?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You guys are probably ahead of me. You guys are probably ahead of me on the stream here. I'm looking at third down for the Raiders here on their first drive. But going to be starting AJ Brown regardless. Like every week he's on the injury report. Every week he's missing practice, and every week he's scoring touchdowns. So until you hear really crazy bad news on Sunday, you're not taking that dude out of your lineup. Adam Humphries is singing a song back on the IR. I think he's back in concussion protocol. So fire up all of Corey Davis at all times. Yep. Follow whatever healthy tight end they have, Ferkser or Jonnu Smith. I don't have either of them on the injury board, but I would be leaning towards Jonnu Smith this week. I think it's a good week for him.
I feel like he's due for a touchdown, right? It's been a while since Jonnu's got one.
Yep, absolutely. As Derek Carr airs one out to nobody on 3rd and 3. So that's not good, Derek Carr and squad. You get on the same page. We got John Gruden calling plays tonight. He is filling in for. Does anyone know the offensive coordinator? I can't remember his name. He's Greg Olsen. Yeah, Greg Olsen. Yeah, that's who it was. He has COVID apparently, random pop up. So, man, Gruden might be calling plays on offense and defense. I don't know who's taking over for defensive play calling, but they just also fired Paul Gunther. Their defensive coordinator. So they're out both their original OC and DC for tonight. We got the Chargers returning their kick. Nothing really there. Like I said, for the Lions, Swift and Hawkinson, that's about it. But let's jump over to the injury report for these guys for this week. We were only trying to do the Saturday games, but that Titans game and the Lions going to be pretty solid for making some money, anyways. On the Titans, they're going to be a lock to hit that spread, in my opinion, as long as Stafford stays out. So let's take it from the top with these injury updates. George Kittle is practicing. He's practicing. He's not going to be making it back for week 15, but it looks like week 16, he is bringing home the money bag. He is getting back in lineups next week. I hope you guys all hung on to him some way, somehow, because he's coming home to cash the checks in week 16. I'm pumped, guys. I mean, this dude's just like a fucking warrior. I feel like he should literally show up to every game in like jean shorts with a case of Busch Light and a Stone Cold Steve Austin vest. Like I feel like he's earned it at this point. He can do whatever he wants. Like the dude's a machine.
Awesome.
Are you guys ready to fire him up next week if he's back? Like, are you any concerns whatsoever?
You kind of have to, man. It's gonna be it's championship week. If you make it a championship, like it's one of those. Like I'll go down with my guys. I'd much rather lose with him giving me 4 points versus him being on my bench and having like a 40 burger, right?
Exactly. Well, how about you, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'd be coming back to get 150 yards. He's just that kind of guy. He likes to drive people into the ground and then also, tell Kyle Shanahan, hey, I need you to run this run play so I can take out this guy right here. He, for some reason, he just ends up always getting his yardage and stuff. I see like maybe 10 receptions, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns just the end of the season because he's the offense.
That would be awesome. I hope that's exactly what happens. He comes back and everything is just ran through him. Fantasy owners, monitor it for this week. But if you make the fantasy championship, you got to be pumped if you're a Kittle owner. That would be nothing short of greatness. That would be great. And again, I just want to see him smash Busch Light cans, on the sidelines. I just want to see him go full 316 on us. We got Raheem Mostert practicing at a limited capacity with an ankle injury. If he's back this week, who do you guys going with, Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson Jr.? Wilson Jr. has been looking solid for the 49ers.
He has been. So I'd lean towards him with Mostert. As much as I love watching Mostert play, he just keeps getting hurt.
Yeah. Did you guys see Herbert extend that play there?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nice. I think we might be a few minutes ahead at this point. We're at I'm at 10 minutes. What are you
Good
at?
God.
Justin, what are you at?
I don't know. I just tried to fast forward a little bit. So we'll see in a second. I got Herbert just made the completion of Derrick Henry, it looks like.
Hunter Henry.
Derrick Henry? They made a trade?
Hunter Henry? Yeah, I got first and 10-13 on the clock.
Okay,
Yeah,
better.
Per usual. No big deal. But yeah, between the two, Mostert and Wilson, in championship week, I'm probably going to be going Mostert as long as he's, or not championship week, this week. If he's healthy, I'm going with Mostert, just because every time he comes back, he just gets fed. Like they just keep him rolling. Really good usage in the game plan.
That was a nice pass. 83, is that Guyton? Tyron Johnson.
Man, Monkey Knife Fight would not give me the Tyron Johnson bundle. I bundled, what was it? Nelson Aguilar, Darren Waller, and Guyton to hit over 255 receiving yards. And I was looking for Johnson on there because I wanted him over, KJ Hill and who's the other guy I just mentioned, over Guyton, but no, they wouldn't let me have him. That was a nice pass. I just saw it. And that was Jalen Guyton.
So something I noticed last week is for FiOS at least. I don't know if the other carriers are doing this. For the Thursday night games, they're broadcasting them in 4K now. It's on a different channel. Man, it's pretty cool. It's like back in the day when you went from standard definition to HD. It's just like you just start seeing like the randomest details. It's nice.
I'm not upgrading my TV until it's a hologram.
Nice. All right, next up we got the Johnson brothers down in Houston. Duke Johnson not practicing, ankle injury. David Johnson practicing in full. He's back from COVID, so it looks like he's going to be good to go this week. Not going to be firing up Duke Johnson this week. No shares with David Johnson there, fully ready to go. I'm going to be rocking him all day. Nothing really much else there. Noah Fant removed from the injury report, had food poisoning. Pretty wild. Are you guys ready to start him this week? I'm not feeling it.
No, I sat him last week.
As you should have.
Yeah.
I'm not with it. Like, even if he's healthy, I feel like he's a bench candidate at this point. Like, I don't trust him for playoffs for fantasy.
Yeah, unless there's no better option available for you on the wire or on your bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase Edmonds looks like he's sitting out the past couple of days with an ankle injury, just really propping up Kenyon Drake's value. Nothing much there. Mike Thomas not practicing this week. Who did the Saints have on board this week?
The Chiefs.
That's not good. They need Mike Thomas back really quick. He's still really moving the chains for the Saints. Like, he is straight slant boy. 8 catches, no touchdowns. I am getting in the water.
You might as well just pencil in his stats. 8 catches, 100 yards. 9 catches, 103 yards. That's all he does.
No touchdown. And no touchdown. Very, very important to note. No touchdown. It's driving me crazy. Kenny Galladay is going to finish with more touchdowns this year than Mike Thomas. That's bullshit. Keenan Allen getting a nice little catch there for me. I don't know. You guys are probably like watching a touchdown. Chargers are doing the damn thing. Chargers are moving the ball. They're looking good, but they've had a better first drive, obviously. So hopefully the Raiders will respond. We'll see. AJ Brown not practicing, but again, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I see this every single week. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't really matter at this point. Like, just as long as he's good to go on Sunday, like, you don't hear any crazy news, you are absolutely starting AJ Brown every week. AJ Brown, who showed up in this guy's jersey to Sunday's game, Julio Jones. I thought that was a nice little adieu, a nice little nod to the greatness, right? Greatness recognizes greatness. I always appreciate that, right? So Julio Jones, Raheem Morris is saying he's week to week. He's not practicing so far the past couple of days. Are you guys fired up Russ Gage, Olamide Zaccheaus?
Russ Gage, he could get a passing touchdown.
I like Russ Gage action.
Yeah, I like Russ Gage, honestly, almost more than Julio Jones this week. Like, if Julio Jones is in the lineup, sure, like, he's pretty much like a lock for like 6 for 70. Like, right? Like, it should happen. But I don't trust Matt Ryan. He's a guy that I'm not starting in fantasy playoffs. I don't care who they're matched up with. Not going to do it. Even Calvin Ridley's a little bit banged up as Hunter Henry scores a touchdown. Who had the Hunter Henry prop? Who had it?
I think it was Driscoll.
There you go. Oh, Driscoll's on his way. He's on his way. Let's go. Fire up Big D. That's number 1 on the list. All right. Next one down. Aguilar touchdown. Let's go.
The 9 rushing yards going to be the hardest one, man.
The Herbert one.
Did he get any yards on that drive? He had Renfro yards. He's got the Herbert yards. We haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, so guys, I was wrong. There was no rollout on the first drive for 12 yards. It's
He
coming
loves
out the
sitting in
second
the
half.
pocket, man. He loves sitting in the pocket. He's a pocket passer. Like if you're gonna pass for 52 times, like attempts, you really don't move.
You're not rolling anywhere.
Yeah, you're sitting in there waiting. Like he will take a. I mean, he hasn't taken a hit like Joe Burrow has. And honestly, that's why he's probably looked a lot better than Joe Burrow. Just because his offensive line is a lot better.
He took a really nasty hit. I can't remember. Maybe it was against the Broncos, but it was actually a touchdown pass because he got it out to his safety valve, whatever scat back it was. I think it may have been Tremaine Pope or maybe even Kalen Ballage, but he got crushed by a Bronco defender as he's just like getting it out. Kind of similar to that Keenan Allen little shuffle that he did. Except for like the scat back was like 10 yards laterally from him. He got it out, but I've seen him take a couple of rough hits and he stands his ground in the pocket, like you mentioned. So yeah, he's been solid, but long way to go. Long way to go. For the sake of Driscoll, we're going to say he's going to hit it. We're sending that good energy, sending that Hizzy energy. Speaking of that, while you're listening and watching, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Next up, we got Mo Alley Cox. And Trey Burton not practicing. Could be firing up some Jack Doyle this week, but I feel like one of those bastards also, gets back into the lineup and, convolutes the situation. But I'll make a dollar holler on a Jack Doyle this week. I'm gonna say he scores a touchdown. He's gonna be my tight end candidate to score a touchdown this week. Last week I called Irv Smith. The week before that was Cole Kmet. Going Jack Doyle this week. Touchdowns from a tight end. What do you guys think?
I think it's absolutely possible.
Fire up some Jack Doyle this week.
That's not a bad idea. Graham and Kmet caused problems for the Texans defense last week. I definitely think Doyle can get one in this week.
Yep, absolutely. Next up, we got John Connor, not practicing, quad injury, not great. I'm sitting him. Can't start him. I mean, he's not looking good. He wasn't looking good before COVID. Coming back, didn't look good his first couple games. I'm saying a fade him this week. What do you guys think?
Fade him, yeah.
I think so. The matchup is so good against the Bengals, right? That you want to say take them, but I wouldn't feel good about it.
Someone was asking me on Facebook. It was JD McKissick sitter starts for people versus him. And last week someone asked me, or I say John Connor, James Connor. I said McKissick, and then JD McKissick versus Giovanni Bernard, who was going up against the Cowboys. Nick, you had the situation last week with Zeke and Pollard, right? And who wound up getting the touchdown? It was Pollard, right? But with the McKissick comparisons, I told him McKissick over Connor, just because Connor's been trash, and McKissick over Gio, because when there is the opportunity to run on a bad defense, typically you can let the backups get in there and get into the mix. And that's exactly what happened with the Bengals. They let Samaje Perine get touches. They let Trevion Williams get touches. So I think it could be a similar situation just like that, where the matchup's really good, but they let, Anthony McFarland get some run. They let Benny Snell get some run because Connors just sucks. Like he just hasn't been good.
Not a number one.
They got to free my guy Anthony McFarland and play.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. He's getting red zone touches, so he has a role down near the goal line. But other than that, they need to let him loose for sure. I'm all with that. Next up, we got some Dolphins. Nick, I know your ears are perking up here. Mike Gesicki, limited with his shoulder. Devontae Parker, limited hamstring. Jakeem Grant, limited hamstring. Devontae Parker seems like the least likely one to go, just because he's the only one where they've come out and said, yeah, it's a hamstring strain. It's not looking good. He's doubtful. These other guys, they're just saying, oh, they're limited. They're getting in their work. But Devontae Parker did get in a limited session today, so I think that's a good sign. I think he's going to, need a full participation tomorrow. But are there any back end options here that you guys are willing to fire up? They activated Matt Breida off of COVID list. Lynn Bowden Jr. was a big name that we brought to you guys on Monday, for waiver wire ads. I think he could be an option. He led the team in routes ran last week. They do some kind of weird stuff with Lynn Bowden. They let him pass. They let him run some wildcat. I think he's an interesting option. Who do you guys like there?
I'm actually playing DeAndre Washington with Miles Gaskins out. I played him last week. I really don't know what the situation is. Literally Miles Gaskins was in my starting lineup, and I took him out literally Sunday because he popped up on COVID, and I was like, oh my gosh, So I had to pivot and just took his backup, DeAndre Washington. And he got me like 4 or 5 points, enough to win the game. But that's who I'm playing right now, just because availability.
What's your potential backup plan for Gesicki, Nick? Sorry.
Okay.
For Gesicki,
because you have to start him this week, right?
I think he's in the league where I lost in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in the constellation. So I really don't. I'm not worried about playing him. Yeah, I don't have him on my team that I'm
gotcha.
in the playoffs for. So
okay, what were you gonna say, Imran?
No, I was gonna say Lynn Bowden's been really interesting because I know you think you guys most of your leagues are Yahoo, right? So I don't know if they have the same designation. In ESPN, they have Bowden designated as a running back or a wide receiver.
So that's cheating. ESPN smokes crack for breakfast. That's too much. Like they're the same. They're the same platform that still allowed Taysom Hill to be at tight end. Come on,
So the reason I mentioned that is he had a pretty big game last week with a lot of receptions. So it's kind of like like you mentioned, a little bit of a cheat code depending on what your situation is. Where this is a guy with all those receivers hurt. He's probably going to get some work, right? With the running backs out, with the receivers out, he's going to get a lot of touches. So I think it's definitely worth it. Aguilar. Sorry, Justin. A little bit ahead.
It's all good. It's all good. As long as he gets it, I'm cool.
I was excited for a guy, Jake. I was like,
As long as he hits it, I don't care. As long as he makes a completion, don't give me bad news ahead of time. I can watch bad news on my own.
You'll see this play in just a second, probably.
Yeah,
I had that reaction.
I'm waiting to pop off here. But I do think that Grant or Gesicki get into this one. Even Parker, I just don't know if all of them do, right? So I do think that there's going to be some upside for one of those backups, like potentially even a Matt Breida, a little sleeping monster there, kind of waiting to pop off. It could be a very fantasy thing or just NFL thing for him to do, right? Come out of nowhere, grab a touchdown or two, just, has no reason to be in the end zone in a certain week, but they do, right? That happens all the time. Also our guy, Salvin Ahmed, limited with a shoulder injury, could potentially be getting back in the lineup. Even if he does, I don't think they try to mess with it too much. I think he could only have a handful of touches, so we'll see what happens there. Next up, we got Jace Sternberger still in concussion protocol. You wouldn't think it's that big a deal for fantasy, but it's interesting because the Packers, they really split the touches up between the tight ends, between Sternberger, Rob Tonyan, and Mercedes Lewis. But with Sternberger out, it really gives Rob Tonyan a bunch of run. He's up to 62% on the snap counts. So I got to say, fire up Rob Tonyan this week. I feel like some weeks it's always like a coin flip, like if he is or isn't a lock to be in the lineup, just because he could only have 3 catches and a touchdown or 3 catches and no touchdown, right? Just because of that limited workload. But with Sternberger out, like he's set to be, still in protocol, I got to fire up Rob Tonyan this week. I got to put him as a top 5 tight end option. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
He's got 9 touchdowns down the year. He's definitely probably going to get one more for the end of the year. And people had the nerve to say that Aaron Rodgers needs more help. The weapons are all there.
I guess so. I mean,
oh no. Oh no, Justin, you're gonna have to
interception
see it,
time. Interception time.
No, you wish it was an interception, bro.
You'd rather take the interception.
Ouch.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm about to see it. We got 3rd and goal.
Boy, where there to happen? Oh shit! I see where it happened. Oh god.
Did someone die? Someone hurt their leg or what?
Basically, man.
When you see where it is and what it is, you'll see. You kind of feel like death.
He just pulled his hernia.
Oh, groin. Ugh.
Yeah, just pulled it, right? I mean, he'll be all right. Walked it off.
That's lateral movement, man. I pulled it.
Let's see it. I'm seeing it.
They're taking him back.
Taking him back.
Yeah, this is one he could be out for games. That type of injury, man.
He pulled that
Ouch. Well, there goes that
always
prop.
worries me for injuries, man.
Yep, there goes that prop.
Who's the backup in Las Vegas? Marcus Mariota.
Let's go, Mariota.
Third string.
Nate Peterman.
Yeah, it's Peterman. How the hell is Peterman the backup over Mariota, man?
No, they cannot be putting in Peterman.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Mariota's not even second string. It's just bullshit.
Nah, they'll give Carr a Viagra. He'll be back in the game in no time. He'll be all right.
Wilkes.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
the boner is not going to help him. Dislocated groin, Justin.
Man, that
You don't know
sucks.
that. You don't know
I
that.
can't believe
I don't actually.
All right, let's get back to the lineups here. We got Curtis Samuel potentially limited. We've kind of already discussed that a little bit. Just a situation to follow. I feel like he's going to make the lineup. CMC, he's going to be doubtful, not going to be back in the lineup. If he's a guy like George Kittle. If he makes it back for Week 16, he's in my lineup. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'll sleep just fine at night with him in my lineup. I don't care. Rojo looks like he's going to be out. Are you guys ready to fire up Leonard Fournette? Looks like a good spot. No.
He was a healthy scratch last week, right?
Yeah,
he was an active scratch, but they fed Rojo the ball. I don't feel like they're going to be giving like splitting up the ball or the touches around. I feel like it's going to be all Fournette.
No.
Probably.
Why don't you want to start him, Nick?
Guy's a healthy scratch, man. Like, he's not looking good in practice. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, he should be at least suited up. I'm not hopeful for him. It's been a fall from grace for him. I'm out on Leonard Fournette unless he shows me some kind of like crazy resurgence. No, I'm out.
Well, there's only like 2 weeks left, so I mean, it's
I'm talking like career wise, out. I'm done.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Next up, we got Dan Jones, who's limited. I feel like they should just not let him play. I feel like they look better with Colt McCoy. I might be crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Colt McCoy always has magic.
Yep. I'm with you, and I think just longevity wise. I mean, well, I was going to say their season's done. It's really not because the division that they're in. But it's one of those who gives you the best chance to win.
Right. They beat Seattle with Colt McCoy. I mean, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying. I agree.
Doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, I don't love it. I don't think anyone's trying to start Dan Jones in fantasy this week. Who do the Giants have on the books?
They have just had it up. Where'd it go? The Giants are playing the Browns on Sunday Night Football.
Someone get the lady of the night to take care of that for Carr. Yikes. That's after the Viagra. It's a process. It's awesome. All right, next up. Alex Smith and Antonio Gibson, both going to be true game time decisions. I'm not necessarily saying to start Alex Smith this week, but I feel like I got to hold off on Antonio Gibson for a week. This team, the football team, signed Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller. That can't be a great signifier for Antonio Gibson.
Wait,
they have to have some concern.
No. He signed off the practice squad. So
okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on the practice squad. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No. He was with the Bears. Then he was taken away.
You got to carry. I love Antonio Gibson. It's just a bummer, man, that he's hurt. But I'm with you, man. It
is.
The shitty part is just the matchup's not even that bad. Seattle's defense, they can be had.
Yep. But I don't like it though. Like sitting out the past 2 weeks for a toe injury. He was getting some work on the sidelines today, but it's not enough for me. Like if he was practicing in full this week, sure, I'd be like, yeah, ready to go. I'm not. And Alex Smith, I don't think anyone's trying to start him in fantasy. The matchup's great. And he throws for a lot of yards, but he just doesn't throw for touchdowns. So I don't think anyone's trying to start him in fantasy, but obviously, we're always following it. I've been, banging the football team drum, with our little division race that we've got going here. So been fun to watch, especially the last 2 games, very exciting games, very entertaining football. Would hope to see those guys in the lineup. But for fantasy, stay away. I'll fire up, man. I don't even know to say fire up JD McKissick with, Haskins in the lineup. I'm scared. I don't think they win with Haskins. What?
Is it going to be? Why does Mariota have gray hair?
It's a look. It's a thing that people do.
I think I'm older than him.
Yeah, but some people literally, like some gentlemen, they like to put some gray in their hair because they think they're stylish. They think they're Cam Newton.
Embarrassing.
What is it? Real estate guy that I follow, Ryan Serhant, ex-actor, ex-soap opera or soap opera, whatever, soap actor. I don't know what you call those anymore. Soaps. Gray hair guy. He's like, oh yeah, I don't have gray hair, but I'll put gray hair in my hair. People do it. I don't know. The swimmer, Ryan Lochte, didn't he do it? Put gray hair in his hair.
Yeah, he did.
But he's a fraud. So, but he's a fraud. So You know.
Yeah. By the way, it looks like it is going to be Mariota. He's taking some snaps on the sideline.
Super Mario season. Here we go.
Just give it time for the Viagra to kick in. Carr's going to be back out there.
Of ex-Oregon quarterbacks dueling tonight, guys.
I think he tore it. Man. Like the way he pulled up. That's like when I pulled my groin, it was a lot different. Like I kind of felt like a strain. Like I couldn't move laterally. Like he stopped. Like someone pulled his hamstring, but he grabbed right where it was. You could see what it was. So I think he tore it the way he like pulled up on it. That's real bad.
We'll see. I didn't see any gray in Mariota's hair, but I did see that it was black. So maybe he's just going for some gray and black. You know, just going with the.
It could be the glare.
Yeah, just going with the color scheme for the team. You know, really got creative with his player profile. So yeah, look out for the football team. I'm saying to stay away from those fantasy options though. Gibson and Smith this week. Not really anything to write home here, but Brandon Allen did not practice today for the Bengals with a knee injury. Ryan Finley likely going to be the starter there for the Bengals going up against the Steelers. I believe it's going to be primetime football. I think that's the Monday night game. Yeah. I'll take a double-digit cover for the Steelers there. I think they get right. Yeah. It's a good spot for them. And this isn't news, right? Like I've been fading, the Bengals most weeks. I will not fade T. Higgins, but I will say to fade Tyler Boyd this week, especially if Ryan Finley is at quarterback. So Boyd is out of the lineup for me this week, but I'll take Higgins. No running backs. What do you guys think? Are any options that you're feeling comfortable with Ryan Finley potentially running things there?
AJ Green.
Did he score a touchdown or something? Like he got a random touchdown with Ryan.
It's really worrisome. That one of the things I wrote about was ever since Burrow's been out in their last 3 games, their turnover differential is -6. So their matchups, obviously, aside from losing that that superstar quarterback play, they're turning it over left and right. And now you're playing a pissed off Steelers defense that has lost back-to-back games.
Are the Steelers at home too?
I think so. This is
not great for the Bengals. Not great for the Bengals. Like the Steelers are angry. They're not happy. They're a lot better than you, and they really want to win. Like bad place to be for the Bengals. Not good.
I agree.
So Nick's firing up AJ Green. I can't do it still. I can't do it. They could get a random touchdown. I mean, Tyler Boyd could get a random touchdown, but I'm not comfortable starting either of those guys. Not up against the Steelers defense. I think they're going to feast. Could be a multiple touchdown night for Minka.
Look, it's like the third string guys playing each other. That's what it is. Like they've been practicing.
AJ Green's the third string guy now.
Seriously, like if you've been watching the film, he's like a first string guy. Like so that's his jug machine. So they're like, oh yeah, I know AJ Green's gonna be in that corner. Let me toss him one because he's got to put some game film on for the next contract.
Yeah. Well, if I was also just like that guy, I would just be like, yeah, well, I'll just try to throw to AJ Green, and the people will blame him if it doesn't work. So I'm with that. Like I'm with that. Like, well, I don't want to throw to T. Higgins. They might blame me. Like it's a bad ball to T. Higgins. But if I throw to AJ Green, his footwork was off. This bastard is what he is. All right, next up, Zeke. He's been limited this week with a calf injury. I don't know, man. Tony Pollard stealing touchdowns. Who are they playing? I feel like the matchup is right, but
49ers.
Are we starting Zeke? I don't think so. I don't think so.
He's not doing good. I think I was reading a stat earlier. He hasn't scored a touchdown, I think, since Dak went down.
Yep, saw that too.
That's also not fair. Like it's not also fair what they're doing because last week he could have had 2. They were inside the 5 twice, and they just did not give him the ball. Like, they were in the 1, and they gave a look to who was that backup tight end?
Swaim? No, that's not him, right?
I think it was Swaim. He caught a ball in the end zone. They called it back or something like that. There was a holding penalty or something. It was something like that. And I'm just looking at the screen like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, fantasy owners have to be like throwing their TVs at the wall. This is ridiculous.
I'll never understand why Dallas hired Mike McCarthy as head coach. Like, I didn't think they could take a step back from Jason Garrett, but boy, did they.
They're talking about bringing him back for next year. Sorry, Nick, go ahead.
I see them moving away from Zeke. His contract's really heavy right now. Their team without Dak is in shambles, and even when he wasn't, they were still losing. So there's a lot of holes to fill in, and I think that they're going to try. I don't think Jerry's in love with Zeke anymore. I think that Jerry
There's going to be some
letting
love lost for certain.
Yeah, I mean Tony Pollard has really came on, and he's been featured a lot more in different facets of the game. And Zeke is kind of like taking a back seat. And like I battled a couple weeks in a row. Like, man, should I start Tony Pollard over Zeke? And there was a couple weeks I fucking should have.
Yeah, I know. And last week was one of them. And it's just really tough because obviously Pollard made the production, like he outproduced Zeke on the touchdown. It's really close still, the numbers. But with that touchdown, it gives him that leverage. And I think it was only like a 6-yard touchdown. It wasn't like, like a home run or something like that.
That's the problem, though, Justin, like what you just mentioned, like the production is so similar because one of the guys you gave a 6-year, $90 million contract to, the other guy was a third-round pick who's making like $500K. Like, this is how you don't pay running backs. And I loved Zeke. His first couple of years, I absolutely loved him. I did the whole spoon celebration. He was awesome to watch. But this, unfortunately, we see this over and over again, and it sucks. But this is why you can't pay running backs, and especially when you have a superstar quarterback you need to pay. Those you can't find.
Question for you, Imran. Khalil Mack. Mack.
Yes, I know what you're going to ask me. Yes.
I'm going to ask you two questions. Khalil Mack for Dak Prescott. Do you pull the trigger?
Yep.
Khalil Mack for Ezekiel Elliott. Do you pull the trigger?
No.
Good, because those are my answers as well. I would not. I would do it for Dak because a quarterback is just he can change everything.
Yeah. Top
to bottom, everything. Drive up the win numbers, the pace of play. Doesn't matter. He can change everything. Zeke, not worth that money. At literally like top 3 paid running back, if not the top. What's he at? Do we know?
He might be number 1.
I think he is now because he was creating big problems for the Cowboys the past couple seasons with these extensions and everything.
Total value, I think he's number 1 at $90 million. Yeah. I know Kamara and CMC and Dalvin, they're all, I think, around the same yearly mark, around 14, 15K. But they just didn't get they didn't get the 6 years. They got cut off at 4.
Right. Because Zeke's looking at like 18 to 20 a year, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'll do that Khalil Mack trade for Dak Prescott. I won't do it for Ezekiel Elliott, but I just want to see where you're at on it.
No, absolutely.
Let's move it along here. Really, the whole point there, everybody, sit Zeke this week. I'm just not with it. I don't love the matchup. The 49ers are in a situation where things are actually going to be normal. They're just playing a normal road game. They've been playing home games in Arizona the past couple of weeks, and they've been struggling with that. I think that this is kind of just like a normal logistical situation for them, and they're going to get right up against the boys. And realistically, who wants to play the 49ers right now? They're playing with a lot of pride. I don't love it.
They're such a pain in the ass team. So good, coach. Yep.
Yeah, similar to the Patriots. Who's up next? Kenny Galladay, not practicing, not going to be in the lineup. I don't even know why I put it on the board. Sorry.
You know that.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph not practicing this week. Irv Smith in line for another potential touchdown going up against the Bears. Bears are a good fantasy spot for tight ends. So, I'll fire up some Irv Smith again this week. Are you guys with it? Can he score a touchdown?
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely he scores than Thielen or Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right there. Already mentioned that Lindsey and Gordon are both going to be questionable for this week. If I have to start one over the other, it's going to be Melvin Gordon, but I really don't want to start either one. What do you guys think?
I am not. Well, I have Lindsey in my lineup just because I went 0 RB, so I really don't have any running backs to play, but I'm not happy about playing Lindsey. I don't like either of them, to be completely honest, for fantasy, so I wish I had grabbed at least one big name running back.
Happens.
Yeah, I would say Gordon. I don't feel great about it though.
No, I don't feel good about it whatsoever. I'm getting like my first look at Mariota. I haven't really been paying attention. Nice little pass. Nice little run out. Foster Morrow getting in the backups. Nick's likes the practice squad connections. I like it.
It's completely underrated, man. Like seriously, if you play football,
where's the third stringer? All right,
seriously,
exactly, because they know them. They know their rhythm.
Yeah,
makes sense. There's something there. Jamison Crowder, big fader for me every week, right? I mean, he's always hot and cold, but this week going up against the Rams, don't like it. He's been limited this week with a calf injury. I think Sam Darnold's going for negative fantasy points in this matchup. I think the Jets are going to have a long day ahead of them going up against the Rams.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Justin.
Mhm.
It's just this is one of those games that I put in best bets.
Mhm.
It's 17-point spread.
Mhm.
The Jets
Oh my
early
God,
in the year
17. Wow.
17, and normally I fade it, but the Jets
Mhm.
are bad, man. When they play the Chiefs
Yeah.
earlier this year, it was 21, and Chiefs kept that with ease. It's just the Rams. The Rams are cooking right now, man. I wanted to believe they
Right.
were fraud all year, but they're a damn good team. And guess what, guys? They know that they realized they drafted Cam Akers, and that he's
Yeah,
I know.
thank God.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
and guess what
It's so
happened?
frustrating.
And he's been kind of talk about him for a second. He's been
Mhm.
okay, big boy, run. You'll see it in a second, Justin.
Yeah, I just saw the Waller catch, so we're getting there. We're getting there.
I've never seen him hype before. Okay, but what was I going to say? But yeah, that Cam Akers in his last 4 games, I think he's got a touchdown in 3 of them, and the fourth
Yeah.
game where he had a touchdown, he ran for 175 yards. So
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
that's adding another layer to that offense where they're finally having a lead horse that can do a lot. So I just think the Jets are going to be in trouble, man. I think Ramsey and Donald are, God, they're going to have a field day.
Oh, Mariota with a nice little one there. Okay. A little Mariota run.
You
That was
see him get
good. That was
fired up?
good. Yeah, that was good. That was good. He's back. He's back. Let's go.
That was
Love
one
the
guy, man.
Ravens.
I thought he was going to be it, man. I always thought he was the guy.
It's kind of funny because Ryan Tannehill was in a very similar situation in Miami. Mariota, very similar in Tennessee, right? Sometimes you just need a fresh look. That's all it is.
The weird thing about Tannehill is he had a couple of good years in Miami. He hit 4,000 yards a couple of times. Like it was just he just like never did it consistently though. But like you said, man, hopefully this is what Mariota needs.
You remember Tannenbaum, the GM from the Jets and the Dolphins?
Yep.
Yeah, he was talking. He actually called prior to last season.
Buddy.
I'll see it in a second.
Waller.
He called Ryan Tannehill taking off in Tennessee. I remember it to the quote. Like he said he's an elite player. He's just been given a bad look in Miami. This guy's going to excel all of these weapons here, including Derrick Henry, and he called it. He nailed it on the head. So sometimes you just need a new spot, a fresh look, and new weapons. Maybe an offensive line, like Mariota was kind of running for his life there for many seasons. So this is just a little bit of a different story. Waller going to the Hizzy.
Well, that's a good ass throw.
Good ass throw. It just would have been a lot cooler if it was Derek Carr and I was catching the props because Waller, the catch, the yards, it's all there. You know what I mean? Like that part's great. That part's great. I love it. Rounding out the last couple here, we got Matt Stafford not practicing. Probably not going to be playing. You guys should be checking out of the Lions this week, as we already discussed. And Brandon Cooks, what they still want to call a neck injury, he was limited this week.
A neck injury. Okay.
Not sure if you've been catching that, Imran, but I've been kind of banging the drum that Brandon Cooks has a concussion. The Texans are full of shit. And yeah, I don't know. They're hiding something. They're up to no good. I don't like it.
And it's really worrisome too for a guy like Cooks. I love him when he plays. He's an electric player, but he's had problems with concussions, in his career. And it's crazy that he's already on his 4th different team.
Yep. Oh yeah. And it's all because of the concussions in my eyes. Like it's just a rotating carousel for him because everywhere he goes, the doctors, the medical team, they get a look at him. They're like, okay, yeah, we can work with this, and until you die, and then we have to sit you down, And pretty much that's what's happening all over again. They had Chad Henson, who's been blowing up. They put the dude on the practice squad this week. So
which is really stupid to me because
I know.
He's a nice little PPR receiver, and you still don't have Wolf Fuller. You don't have Randall Cobb.
They cut Stills.
Cut Stills. Like, who the hell is playing receiver? Like, how do they put him back on the practice squad? That's so stupid.
So, yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's just a roster management move because I think that when he's there for so long, it's time to cash the paycheck. You know what I mean? Like they got to pay him. I just think it's a different level. With Cooks back, I guess they could potentially keep him out of the lineup. But when Cooks has been there, he's still been in the lineup. I expect Hanson to get promoted back to the roster either on Sunday, before Sunday, whatever. I feel like they're just trying to, just kind of fuck with us. He's literally led the team 21% target share the past 2 weeks. That's with Cooks in the lineup. Obviously, this last game, he wasn't in the lineup, but the week before he was. This week, they're going up against the Colts. I don't trust Cooks regardless. I don't care if he's in the lineup. I don't care if he's out, whatever. Don't put him in. Kiki Kute, Chad Hansen, if they're ready to go. You guys agree?
Yeah. The roster management bit made sense about Hansen. I completely see that.
I guess I really don't know the finite details of it, like what they're gaining out of it, but I just thought it was hilarious. I was just like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean he's on the practice squad?
I'd be pissed.
Offense, like literally the past couple of weeks. They are getting David Johnson back. That could take away some of the passing production, but I feel like there's going to be plenty of opportunity for Kute and Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was pretty much it. Let's jump over to, at least as far as the injury report goes, let's jump over to some of the recent news. Drew Brees is practicing. He's getting first team reps. Why? They're talking about literally like he's on his last leg. I've read reports that's saying like, oh, he could actually play this week. Sean Payton's like, whoa, slow down. He's got a long way to go. But if that's the case, why is he taking first team reps here? I think we're all in agreement that we want Hill for the rest of the season here. But what do you guys expect from Brees when they are in the playoffs? Because they're going to the playoffs. What do you expect from Brees? Like, is he bringing home the gold? Is he bringing home a Super Bowl? Are they going to make it, or is he going to want to get checked out?
But real quick though, I disagree with Taysom Hill. I think they need to put in Winston ASAP. Really? I'm not a fan of Hill. I just this whole experiment. I'm really over it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I just don't.
Traditionalist.
It's not that I'm a traditionalist. Like I'm all about having a multi-dimensional quarterback, but the dude put in Winston, man. Like the guy. I know the guy can't. He couldn't see straight last year, but the guy threw 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, man. Like,
sure.
I mean,
you just got to manage it, really. I mean, I feel like you could play both of them at quarterback. I mean, they do the same thing with Drew Brees. Why not do it with Winston and Taysom?
Yeah, but I don't want to get on a tangent about that one. But I think for Brees, man, like I played most of the year without Michael Thomas. I know that's his number one receiver, but he looks like a guy that his age is starting to catch up with him. And I think in the playoffs, if he's got to go to Green Bay, again, I hate saying it. I think in the NFC, it's going to be the Packers coming out of it. Yeah. I just don't think the Saints can go into Lambeau and the element and beat Aaron Rodgers. Or I think Seattle could go into Lambeau and win. But I think the Saints really needed home field.
What do you think, Nick?
I think if Drew Brees comes back strong and he kind of starts making it through the playoffs, I think it's kind of going to be like a swan song. I mean, think about Ray Lewis. Think about Jerome Bettis. Sure. They all got their swan songs. And it's just kind of – Peyton Manning too. Kind of weird how stuff kind of lines up on your injury-riddled year. Like Peyton Manning came back and, with a noodle arm and no neck, basically. And
some of those balls were very questionable.
He was not the same Peyton. There were so many better versions of Peyton that should have won the Super Bowl than that Peyton. And it's just like, dude, like
that year too.
What?
What's that?
That year. Remember Osweiler was playing for a while?
Yeah. It was because it was the same kind of thing with like what they're doing with Hill is, his neck was basically broken and they kind of like nursed him back and whatever. And he came back in the playoffs and did just enough to get through. But, that defense definitely carried him. But it's kind of weird how, stuff kind of lines up. And I feel like if, Drew Brees catches, a little bit of heat in the playoffs, they're going to end up giving it to him. I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theorist kind of guy,
Sure. I got to go opposite of you, Imran. I kind of like the way things look for the Saints with Taysom Hill in the lineup. Now, this week, it was not a good matchup, this matchup with the Eagles. And I don't know if that comes into play of not having enough film on Hurts. I don't know if it was a bad spot for him. I mean, like I said, like I'm glad I didn't go to the sports books. I would have lost a ton of money on the Saints, right? It would have happened. I would have been all over them. I plugged in the Saints into my DFS lineup. I was, completely opposite of Jalen Hurts last week and Miles Sanders. I said to bench Miles Sanders last week. Not ashamed of it. I'm not proud of myself, but I'm not ashamed either. I said it. Stand on it, right? But man, Taysom Hill, before that loss, he was like top 5 quarterback in fantasy since taking over for Drew Brees. the team was really responding to the game plan, just very clean football, moving the chains, finding the open pockets on the field, whether it was Taysom, running, whether it was Kamara, catching the ball in the backfield, or Slant Boy doing Slant Boy things, right? It was just a very efficient. There was a really good rhythm. So what I've been saying, and the drum I'm still going to keep banging, is that let Taysom ride off to the playoffs, and you keep him in that lineup until he makes a mistake that's worthy enough to say, hey, you are not going to win us a Super Bowl. That mistake, was the writing on the wall. Let's get him out. I like the idea of getting Winston in the lineup and actually putting Taysom Hill at another position, like at running back or at receiver, just kind of opening up those creative plays again that they were using, to excel Hill in the lineup when Breeze was there. So I wouldn't hate seeing Winston on the field here and there, but with the sense or the urgency to, open up Hill as a weapon somewhere else, because they've had just a ton of success doing that.
Yeah.
Jameis, they're talking about him coming back next year already. So he's going to get a contract. At least I'm assuming he's going to get a contract. Today when Sean Payton was asked, what are your thoughts for quarterbacks in the future? And he said Jameis has a chance to compete for the starting job after Drew Brees retires here. So, I mean, hell, if that's the case, I mean, Taysom Hill's got to be pretty upset, right? That's those words can't be, pleasing to him. He sees himself as a starting quarterback this year. So I'll ask you guys this: who's the starter in 21 for the Saints? Is it Drew Brees? Is it Jameis? Or is it Taysom?
Sean Payton is just giving lip service because he doesn't want to hear Jameis talking about, yo, man, like, what did you say in the news, man? Like, I thought we were gonna be eating W's together. Like, he just kind of trying to get him off to the next season. Taysom shouldn't really be worried. He got paid $16 million being a utility player, basically. And now he was chosen chosen above Winston, who came in with 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, but also 30 interceptions. If the team is kind of like punting the year, yeah, go ahead, sign Jameis. The Jets would probably be a perfect place for him. Probably sell some tickets with some crazy plays. But with the Saints, they're in the playoff hunt. They're in the Super Bowl hunt. They are trying to win games. They know Taysom is going to do what Sean Payton wants. And Winston is probably going to go off script a couple of times in terms of passing too close into a window or throwing in the quadruple coverage. I did some research on his passing, man, and they were pretty bad. Like the interceptions were not good. I don't see him changing that much from year to year because he would have already made that change in Tampa Bay. So I feel like they're just kind of talking him up a little bit, but Taysom should not be worried at all.
So yeah, for Winston, I mean, I think if Brees retires, I think I could see him staying in New Orleans to compete for that job. But the quarterback market isn't going to be really deep this year. So if these teams have a lot of quarterbacks retiring or jobs in flux, I mean, he may have a chance to start somewhere else and make more money.
I think that's what he should be looking at. Like Jameis, I feel like he's just got to get out of there. I feel like there's going to be so many other options for him, around the league, even as a potential backup to somebody else. Like, I feel like, would you back up Aaron Rodgers? I mean, I know they have Jordan Love there, but he's not making any money. I don't think they would do that, but Bill Belichick, I think, has got to give him a look. I think the Jets, as Nick alluded to, I think they're just, ready to move on to Trevor Lawrence, kind of get rid, can we get to the draft already? But yeah, I think there's going to be some good spots for him. What's that?
That's a true punt of a season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Why not be the backup in Dallas? Instead of New Orleans. So he'll have the option. I mean, he's only got a 1-year deal, so I do think he should look elsewhere though. How about the Giants this week? They got Jason Garrett out for COVID. He's offensive play caller, offensive coordinator. You guys know who's going to be calling plays for the Giants this week up against the Browns?
Freddie Kitchens.
Revenge game. Let's go, Freddie Kitchens. Are you guys buying it? Are you guys buying a revenge game for Freddie Kitchens in Week 15, going back to the Browns?
I'm buying a revenge game for Baker Mayfield and for what that man did to that guy's offense last year.
Interesting. Okay, on the reverse. Okay, I don't hate that. Baker has been kind of hot past couple of games. Getting a little warm.
I think this is Giants defense has also been playing a little bit better. Run causes problems, but I think the Browns are gonna get them this week. James
Bradbury went on IR today.
Oh, that's not good, but that is some plus for some Baker Mayfield this week. I'll ask you guys because Blake was asking me earlier, Baker Mayfield or Drew Lock this week. I feel like that James Bradbury call might just give Mayfield the edge.
Baker.
I'm going to say Baker.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick?
I said Baker. Yeah.
No, okay, sorry. I didn't hear you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. There's some storylines there. Baker versus Kitchens versus the Browns. I mean, Browns still kicked him to the curb, so I feel like there's going to be something there.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's going to be something there. I already mentioned that the football team did sign Lamar Miller, getting it done. A little worried about that with Antonio Gibson kind of banged up, a little chip shot there. Don't love that. Marquise Brown has COVID. Henry Ruggs has COVID. We already talked about Ruggs, obviously, because of this game. But Marquise Brown going to be out of the lineup. Des Bryant was activated. Can we get Des Bryant into lineups this week? I don't think so.
No, man.
I don't think so.
He's not it, man.
Better option.
No, 1,000% correct. I've been saying for weeks, like, why the hell did they sign this guy? Like, they did a terrible job trying to get Antonio Brown, but that was the guy they needed. Like, that was the guy that they needed. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I don't like the signing at all. Like, it's the number one rushing offense in the league, and you're picking up a receiver who was more known for a receiver than actually being a blocker. So why would you sign him? Like, it was really just kind of grab headlines and kind of do like a misdirection play and like strategy, but it has been a poor move because, like COVID and stuff. And it's really just been talking about Dez's, mental health, and it's really been kind of like a distraction.
Right. Yeah, I'm not with it. Cannot start him this week. Just something to follow, though. Marquise Brown, he had some redemption in the last game. He had a couple of really big drops, but he got that touchdown to seal it. So pretty solid. I put the Ruggs and Brown together because Ruggs also had that redemption touchdown up against the Jets. He had a couple of huge drops in that game. One caused an interception. So thought they were a nice little pairing there. DJ Moore is going to be returning from COVID. That's going to be solid for the Panthers going up against the Packers. I'm ready to start him. I feel like if I got him on the roster, I'm hurting for receivers. I'm starting DJ Moore this week. You guys good with it?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to fire him up. Julian Edelman could return next week. I don't think this is like that big a headline news, but he is practicing. He's back, but he's not ready this week. Could be coming back next week. Not a guy that I'm ready to pop in. He's not George Kittle. He's not CMC.
No.
But I could see him like having like one of those just really frustrating stat lines for fantasy owners, like that may have held on to him, with him on the bench in the last week. So let's see. We got a couple of minutes left here. Wow. Justin Herbert, 13 for 15, 145 yards passing. Wow. I guess he's about to score a touchdown right here. You guys will know better than I will. But
field goal.
Third and goal. Man, way behind.
Oh, weird. How they just like, I don't know why they didn't try popping a run, but Anthony Lynn.
We got about a minute 56 left here. Let's talk some Louis Riddick and some GMs. Louis Riddick going to be visiting with the Lions tomorrow. Who else? I think
Texans.
And the Texans.
Yep.
Which pisses me off because I want them to GM the Bears, but the Bears just won't, put themselves in. They're not really in the position to fire their GM right now. Like, they could still make the playoffs technically, right?
It'll be after the season.
Right. But that's the thing is other teams are interviewing these top candidates right now. Like, I don't like it. You guys see Louis Riddick in potentially Houston or Detroit?
Man,
go ahead, Nick.
When I saw his name pop up in the Detroit search, that's very interesting. Detroit is kind of doing like a whole like makeover. They have
as
Chris
they should.
Spielman. Good for them. They have Chris Spielman being like the special assistant. They have Barry Sanders helping with the GM and the head coaching search.
Nice.
They're bringing back the crew, and I think that's good. It's gonna be good for the culture. Bringing in like guys that were actually good, like Spielman and Sanders, those guys are kind of like, legends in Detroit for that time period. And with Riddick coming in, I think that would really kind of like put them over the top to like, instead of being like just the average team, it's kind of like almost what the Browns have done with Stefanski and I don't even who's it, John Dorsey? Is that the guy's name? I think it is. But that would be like the same kind of step that Louis Riddick would be for. nice comment, John Reed.
John Reed, what do you got against Louis Riddick?
He's really smart. I like him a lot.
That's why I like him. It's like,
I think it would take the Detroit Lions over to the next level.
I think he's just a player's GM. Like I feel like he'll have a really good relationship just wrangling in the talent. Like I just feel like he's one of those guys that, like we said, is really smart, really knows the game, and just kind of waiting for his opportunity, right? Like I feel like he's ready. I see him all the time on the Pat McAfee show. He drops in there all the time, dropping his knowledge. So I've been following him for a while. I want him to GM the Bears. I'm done with Pace. Like it just sucks that we're not in that same situation where we can kind of be, bringing those guys in right now, like the Texans, the Lions.
I got some tidbits for you about that. So he actually about Louis Riddick and the Bears. So he's actually, he's good friends with Matt Nagy because Louis Riddick in his career, he worked in the front office in Philadelphia and Washington. So when he was in Philadelphia, him and Nagy crossed paths when Nagy was a assistant coach. I think it was quality, whatever it was. I think one of the lowest when he was just starting out. So in 2018, he was one of the first people that was really on the Bears when they were doing good. And he did a weekly hit with my favorite radio station in Chicago, and so they on from time to time. They had him on today to talk about these because he said for the longest time up until here, so it sucks because he's a great guy. He's a great listen. I'll send you a link, Justin. It's just nice to listen to him talk football. And he was saying that like his dream job, he's been clear, always was to do Monday Night Football. That was his dream job.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. He got it.
And he got it. So he's basically, ESPN, they pay well, right? So he's not hurting for money. So for him to, I think, leave that, it's going to be the opportunity. But I think if he gets a GM job, he's going to leave it because there's only 32 of those in the world, right? Dear chance to run a team. I think he'll do well. I think he can, I think he's going to bring a fresh mind and great ideas. I'm with you. I wish it would be my team, but I think whatever team he goes to, my hunch would be, I think he would pick the Texans because he has the young quarterback already there, and that's the hardest thing to find.
Exactly. That was going to be my argument to anti-Chicago is that he really has to get to work day one on that piece. That's the most important piece, and I feel like that's going to take some maneuvering. Like that's going to take some a sensitive touch. You got Mitch, Nick, and I were talking, past couple episodes about him potentially going off against the Texans, not being under contract, and then of course he did, right? Like perfect matchup if he got Foles there. Obviously the season's still in line. I feel like I keep talking about them like the year's already over. I was saying like, oh, if I could just start Foles because like, at least we're already paying him, right? If he's going to go off up against the Texans, well, we're already paying him. Mitch, he's going to get, this contract somewhere else. And I feel like it's going to be a weird situation for the Bears at the end of this year, trying to figure out who the quarterback is. Are we keeping the head coach? Are we getting a new GM? It's going to be rough, man. And I still feel like we're in a situation where we're all but going to lose a playoff game, like we're going to just make the playoffs and lose one, I feel like we're chasing ourselves to that position and it just kind of drives me nuts. It's really frustrating. So.
And that's the battle I have every Sunday on Twitter. It's like, do you want your team to tank, right? Or lose games, not purposely, just lose games to get that better draft pick? Or you want them to, make the playoffs? I'm always going to choose playoffs because unfortunately, Bears won too many games early on to have a shot at one of those, high-end quarterbacks. I mean, you could trade up. Like, I really like Zach Wilson in this draft from BYU. BYU quarterback that wears a headband. The last time we had one of those in Chicago, things went well. But I mean,
Super Bowl, big deal.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what I would do is right now, they probably should have never bench. I'm not going to go on a tangent about that though. But next two games are winnable, right? What they need to get in is win out. The Yankees aren't that good. Jags are trash. Packers, if they win their next two, they're going to clinch everything. They're not going to have a reason to play Week 17, aside from being assholes keeping the Bears out of the playoff, which could happen. And the Cardinals,
Aaron Rodgers can beat the Bears in the first half. We've seen it many a time.
Oh yeah. I mean, yep.
Yep.
You're right. So, not much to say. I just got 3 weeks ago, but I mean, if they can win this game, get some momentum, we'll see. I've also seen the Bears beat Aaron Rodgers.
I think they play that game on a Sunday night game too. By the way, another Bears primetime game. Ugh,
Actually, not yet. Right now, it's actually an afternoon game.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
well, I bet they flex it if the Bears could potentially make the playoffs.
If they're going to lose, they cannot beat the Packers on Sunday night. But yeah, I mean, Lou Ferrigno, I think he's a great candidate. It's really going to be cool to see what happens these years because only one team gets a bye. Is somebody going to get upset? People were always talking about the NFC East and them having a below 500 team in. The last two teams I think that got in below 500 won their opening playoff game. I think the last one was Seattle when they beat the Saints with the Lynch run.
Did the Broncos with Tebow's win up against the Steelers? Did he have a winning record, or was it like 8-8? Or
they were 8-8. They were 8-8.
Were they? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I know they were cutting it close. I know they were cutting it really tight. I hated that game so much. Who is that receiver? Don't tell me they made the big play for Tebow. Don't say it. Who was it?
Georgia Tech.
It is.
I did too.
Georgia. Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
He played for the Jets.
He was playing. He was just balling out for them. Oh my God. Who was it? Tell me.
Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas. That's what it was. God bless. Yeah, I was gonna say it was a guy that was there for forever and just really quiet for really long time, and then just a strike on the slant to the house. All right.
It's Ike Taylor.
All right. It's the most frustrating thing ever. I remember that year. I think was Garoppolo and Tebow drafted in the same year? Or was it the year after?
The year
after.
Yeah, because him going in that first round, I was just like, the hell?
Damn, he's really young.
Who?
Demaryius Thomas.
27?
He's 32.
Oh, okay, never mind. He's not
that young. I thought he was like 35. I was like, I'm surprised he just got out of the NFL so fast.
I'm gonna be 32. I ain't even been in the NFL. Hell.
Yeah. To 31 for me.
Yeah. That's what you're popping off here on Monday?
Yep.
What are you doing for the birthday?
Nothing.
Just chilling family.
Everything's shut down. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you can go do something.
Quality time. We're gonna enjoy a little bit of Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengal action.
Yeah, all right, right on. That's rough. That's a rough game. But Sunday, I'm sure you'll be popping bottles, doing your thing, right?
Yeah, gotta get that dub, man. It's basically a playoff game. The loser of the Vikings and Bears is done.
Yeah. I mean, they're both 6-7. They're both looking, at 500. Honestly, it just pisses me off because the Bears are one Mitch Trubisky fumble away from being 7-6, and they could be 8-6 after this game. You know what I mean? Like it's driving me nuts.
No, I'm with you. And also, if the defense had decided to play in that game,
right?
Yeah. Oh, damn it! That looked pretty.
I'm about to see it.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. Oh man, that looked pretty.
He ain't running for 9 yards, man.
No. I knew that. I just saw him. You'll see.
Thanks, John Reed.
That throw looked nice. I was like, oh boy. Oh damn it. Oh.
You're getting me anxious. Thank you, John Reed, for always coming out and supporting the channel. Everybody else, if you haven't already, please smash the like button, destroy it if you please, and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Oh, there it was, going up top. We got about 30 seconds left here. We got a big streak of Hizzy episodes about to roll out. So we got Sunday morning football on Sunday, Monday night football. Me and Nick will be running those two together. Then we got our Tuesday night holiday football episode previewing week 16 because we are going to be taking off, for the holidays, which are like Thursday through Sunday. And then we got Wednesday night basketball. We're going to have basketball, I think, dropping. The league starts on Tuesday night, but we'll be doing our Wednesday night episode. So you guys keep tuning in. The Hizzy is lit, as they say. Big completion there to KJ Hill. Good stuff. Looks like Chargers are about to put up some points. Are we going to hit the over, boys? I don't know. It's going to be close. Touchdown. Tutty. Let me try to guess who it goes to. Since I haven't seen it yet. We just got a completion. KJ Hill. Oh, I'll be mad, you say. Keenan Allen?
No.
Tyron Johnson.
Oh, that sucks. Well, I mean, I like it. I was on it.
But I was going to say you were going to be mad because you couldn't get any props on him.
I did. I am mad about it because I couldn't get any props on him. Monkey knife fight. You're killing me. I was trying to get those yards there.
Man, Justin Herbert is such a good passing quarterback. Like
he's so fluid, man. He just has it all.
Get a chance. I was so wrong about him.
Number 100 right around the corner, as John Reed says.
Holy shit. That's my reaction to Nick. I feel like just yesterday, I think I joined at 41?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I remember 32. I think that's when I joined.
We're going to be cooking with basketball now. With basketball in the lineup, and we got hockey dropping in January, MMA dropping in January. Oh, full house, full Hizzy. Let's go. I'm pumped, baby. I'm ready to roll.
We're going to have a ton of stuff coming. I know our guy Leo dropped his mock draft, which has been a really popular this week. It's been killing it, and I'm excited to do some coverage too. I don't want the football season to end anytime soon. I want it to last as long as it can.
We got to deal with it, though.
We do, but mock draft season's a ton of fun. So I'm excited to do all the draft stuff coming up.
Yeah, no, I am too, and I'm also excited for playoffs because we got to figure out what we're going to be doing for that. It looks kind of like one show a week type of thing, but I'm excited to just like straight up live stream some playoff football. We'll probably just pick like the best game of the weekend versus our schedule, like what our schedule fits to the best game, and we'll probably just roll with that and just be live with you guys as we follow one of those games. Giving our betting picks. Obviously for the playoffs. Props, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Once we get out of the fantasy, it takes away from some of the discussion, from some of the talk, but it also lends into some other stuff, right? The drafts, the playoffs, who's going to win the Super Bowl. Obviously early fantasy takes for next year. We're going to be getting into some props. We did season-long props this year. And by the way, Imran, we're still tied for with Anthony Miller, Roby Anderson. We're still tied for that. They're at 2-2. I thought Roby went up 3-2. He did not. So
I remember when we brought that up a month ago, and you were like, "Yeah, I got you." I was like, "Actually, no, I got you." He's getting yards. He's not getting catches.
He's getting catches too. He has like almost 40 or 50 more catches than Anthony Miller. It's not fair.
Anthony Miller has 2 touchdown drops this year, and it's just I would love to be at 4, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, the chat showing some love for Justin Herbert. Nick and I were on Herbert, man, early on. Like that was our guy, other than Burrow. Like I don't know.
He's my second quarterback leading me in playoffs right now. My man.
Nick, God damn it. I would have smoked your ass if I'd make the playoffs. I don't know if you saw that, and it wouldn't have mattered because my team would have been like in shackles this week after the fact, right? But man, I was so fucking angry. I smoked everybody, but not in the playoffs. It was just a kick in the balls, man. It's just killing me.
It happened.
Steve thinking John Reed took the night off. No such thing, sir. No such thing.
Never take it off. That's right, John.
That's right. All right, we're gonna take off here. This was Take It to the Hizzy number 84. Hope you guys are all doing well. Best of luck into week 15. Nick and I will be checking back in with you Sunday morning. Imran will be back. Was it next Tuesday, right?
Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday night. Yeah, you guys got anything to close it out with?
Nope, I'm good.
Nope, I'm good too.
All right, everybody take care, be well, stay safe, and happy holidays. We'll see you on Sunday.
Hey, guys.
Take it easy.